And the next thing I'll do is I'll show you how we can create some tabs that appear on the top left and top right of the pages for this article. It requires to change the corner appearance as well. So I'm going to go to a page where it's not quite as busy as this. So I'm going to go to pages 64 and 65. Now, to stop me from clicking on this picture of Diego constantly, because it fills the whole spread in here, I'm going to left click on it once and then go to the object menu and choose lock. And that will lock the item. You'll notice that there is here a little padlock. So you could, if you wanted to, just click on that little padlock symbol to unlock it. But that's going to stop me from clicking away on there. And then I'm going to pick up my zoom tool and zoom into the upper left corner in here. So I can focus my attention on this region to build this little tab. Again, I'm going to pick up my rectangle tool. I'm going to make sure that the color for this, as they all are for this article, they're set to yellow. Hit the return key. And if you've got a specific size that you want to make, you can just hover your rectangle tool over the image window and just left click, and it will ask you then or prompt you to put the width and height in. So the width of this is going to be 12 millimeters. I'll hit the tab key, and then for the height, set that to 17 and then click OK. So that's what I get. I can then switch to my selection tool, and then that actually needs to be aligned to the margin in here. Now, it doesn't always do a brilliant job of snapping to it. Sometimes it works great. Sometimes it can be a little bit fiddly, especially if you've got an image in the background. So here's my advice. To get it absolutely spot on, go up to the alignment options up at the top, and then you can set it. It's usually set to align selection. Now it's already still left on align to margins. So what I can do then is just go click out there and click on align left edges, and that aligns it perfectly to the margin. Then I can change the mode up here to align to page, and then I can choose to align to the top. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't. I wish it did, but it doesn't. I choose to allow it to align to the bleed in there, which would be really fabulous. So I'm going to hover over there, click on the object, and then I'm just going to click and drag and move that upwards. And if I hold the shift key down, it will stop it, move it left and right. And there we go. That's the general shape of the tab in there. The next thing I need to do is change the corners to be rounded. So I'm going to take my cursor with the object still selected up to the top up here, and there is a group of options called corners. Now you can, with these that are visible, you can change all the corners. I only need to change the bottom left and right. So if you hover your cursor over this icon here, it's a secret menu. You can hold down the Alt key and Alt and left click. And then from here, make sure they're not linked. That's what linked looks like. They're unlinked. And then go to the bottom left and the bottom right. I'm going to change that to be rounded and change that one to be rounded. I'm going to tap down a couple of times, and yeah, I'll make that 2 millimeters, and I'll make the other one 2 millimeters as well. So that's kind of generally the style that they've gone for in 442 for the tabs at the top. I'll then click OK. And then with that done, I'm going to lock my images layer, and then I'm going to create in the text layer the type that's in there. So I'm going to pick up my type tool and then click and drag across this region. And then this is called, the article's called Finding. And I'm going to hit the return key, Diego. And then to be perfectly honest, I didn't have to hit the return key. I could hit the backspace key and then press the space bar. It will naturally just carry it down to the next line in there. So that's fine. I'm going to click and drag and select all the text in there. You can press Command A, Control A on a PC. And then for this one, this font is a Creative Cloud font. So just to warn you that I have tried to match these documents as close as possible to the originals. This is a Creative Cloud available font. Whether or not you can access this on the university machines, I don't know that. But I'm just trying to match the brand guide that we've got for 442. So this is set with a font called Agency. So I can actually just start typing AG in there, and it should give me Agency. That needs to be Agency in there. But if I click on the drop-down menu, I can change that to be bold condensed. So in here, this is going to be bold condensed. And then it needs to be all uppercase characters. And then from here, it's going to be a font size of 12 points, like so. And I'll leave the leading value set to 12. And then I'm just going to go to align options and align this centrally like so. When I've done that, the text will be black, so I'm going to leave it set to its default. So I'll hit the escape key on the keyboard, and then I'm just going to hover my cursor over the yellow tab in there, hold the shift key down and shift and left click. Oh, no, it's my obvious mistake. I've locked it in there. So unlock it, hover over, shift and left click. With those both selected now, I can hover over with nothing held down and just left click back on the tab again. That makes that the key object. I can then go up to the top and choose to align horizontally. That will put the text right in the middle there. Click away from both, click back on the text in there and just pull the handle in. If I zoom in a bit closer using the keyboard shortcut, you can get to the handle in there and then just drag that back just to make it the same width as the tab in there. So fairly happy with that. There's enough space at the bottom. I might just tap down once or twice. So yeah, I'm fairly happy with that. I'm going to then zoom out, and then the Diego image in the background is still locked. So I can hover my cursor over both of these elements and click and drag, and I can go to Object and I can choose Group, because now I can go to Edit and I can choose Copy. I can then pan all the way across to the far right hand side page and then go to Edit and then choose Paste. That obviously needs to be aligned to the top of the page, so I'm going to align that right at the top up here, right to where the bleed line is. And then I'm going to make sure the alignment sets to align to margins and then click on Right Align in there, so that's in perfect the right place. Then go to the View menu, go down the list to Fit Spreading Window. That one's already selected, so I can hold down the Shift key and shift and left click on that one. With them both selected now, they're both groups, which includes the tab, the yellow tab and the text. Edit and Copy. I can then go to this page here and I can go to Edit and choose Paste in Place. Wow. Go to the next spread and go to Edit and choose Paste in Place. So the look and feel of them are exactly the same. Once you've built one, put it there on the left and right side of pages, copy them, and you can paste in place in exactly the same place on the other pages in there. That's how we create the tab look for 442.